Flash, Tim Kalishaw, Frank Isola, Bob Ryan. Today, Germany out. Most reliable mine shaft of all the mine shafts knocked out. Also, Klay Thompson out, taken out by this young popper.
Look at that.
Whoa. Let's go around the horn.
Too many balls there. It's not fair.
That's the secret. Steal the balls from next door, and now you can
It's Around the Horn, the show of competitive banter. Here's Tony Reale.
Germany out before the knockouts for the first time ever. Champs going out early for the fourth cup in the last 5. And Mexico loving South Korea forever and ever. Frank Isola, how big is this? And will this tournament miss Germany?
Yeah, it's a massive upset, and the tournament will not miss Germany. Just like 8 years ago, it didn't miss Italy getting knocked out of the group stage. 4 years ago, Spain, the defending champ, getting knocked out of the group stage. This is what makes the World Cup great. Now it really is a wide-open tournament for teams that have never won it, like Croatia and Belgium, and maybe our boys over in England who haven't won since '66, because Germany always beats them. So a lot of teams should be a little bit more optimistic with the great Germans out.
But is this an absolute failure on Germany's part here? They only won one game. They did in the death of the second game, and then to get run off the field like they did by South Korea today.
You know, absolutely massive failure for them, especially since they went into the final day. All they had to do was score one goal, win the game 1-0. They advanced against the weakest team, but give South Korea a lot of credit. Good strategy, a counterattack. They defended well, and they got a little lucky. Germany just could not put the ball in the back of the net.
Tim Kalishaw?
Yeah, I mean, giving up the goals they did, losing 2 games in the group stage, first time ever, losing to a team from Asia for the first time ever. It does remind us this is a World Cup. This is not the European Cup with a hint of South America. It is a World Cup, and Germany found that out. I think as far as what it does for the tournament, though, when you look at it from our point of view, I think Mexico, had they been eliminated today, which could have happened. They didn't exactly play well. That would have been a bigger story here. After Team USA, you know, Mexico is the most popular team in this country. That would have been a tough loss to take, so at least they're moving on.
Bill Plaschke.
Yeah, there hasn't been a repeat champion in the World Cup in over 50 years, and it survived. So I think it's good news Germany's out of it. New teams get in it. Senegal's got a chance to be the first African team to win the World Cup. I think Brazil's a fun. Everybody loves Brazil, fun to watch. But the bigger story here, like Tim said, it's Mexico. Mexico is become the U.S.'s second team in this country. Just look around. You look around the streets here in Southern California. People are going crazy for the Mexican team. I think that's the key. Is that they're now in. They got a legitimate shot.
Bob Ryan.
I mean, this tournament got off to an interesting start right away when Iceland beat Argentina 1-1, as the announcer properly said. And it's from that moment on, it's been a tournament of drama and excitement. And I think that the idea that now Germany joins the Netherlands and Italy as spectators during this going, I think it's fantastic for the whole interest of the world and the school. And I think. I'm wondering if the fans in Great Britain are going to put their hand on that metaphorical stove right now and say, oh, blimey, we really have a chance. Because, you know, it's been such a frustration thing for them over the years. And this is a new team of new players for them. They got rid of the old guard. Yeah. And you know, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they react to all this. They have an opportunity that I think many people over there did not think they were going to have.
So as South Korea goes up and then in turn beats Germany in the end, Mexico, the performance they put out today, after the first 2 games, went as perfect as they possibly could for El Tri, Frank Isola. The loss today, but they advanced. What did you take from Mexico?
Well, and they had played so well in the first 2 matches, and it happens in the tournament. Who knows? Maybe in the long run, a heavy dose of reality will be good for them. And Sweden is a great team. Sweden knocked out Italy in the playoff. But, Tony, yesterday, you and I are sitting there watching Argentina, and they need a goal to advance. And we're thinking, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And sure enough, they end up scoring late. I'm watching Germany today. I'm thinking, it's going to happen. It's Germany. They're going to score. I was on pins and needles because I want Mexico to advance. The last 2 days.
You and Landon Donovan, of course, so we understand what that is. But you're right. I mean, the saying is, you know, you play 90 minutes, and then after that, Germany wins. And that's what you expect. And all the veterans of the Bundesliga and Real Madrid, whoever they play out there, I mean, couldn't finish the goals. They had 20-plus shots and 5 on net and didn't put any in. Plash, you want a last word?
Yeah, once again, you think the U.S., it's a wide-open tournament. The U.S. is not part of it. What could have happened if we were in there? That's just, again, it's just a reminder what a shame it is that the United States is not there.
All right, we'll move on. Pressure on Lakers to trade for Kawhi Leonard before LeBron decision. That's Adrian Wojnarowski, Brian Windhorst, and Ramona Shelburne. Triple byline here. So we're going to have to go full Voltron now here. 4 wide byline. What's the takeaway, Bill Plaschke? Start us off.
The takeaway from this is that the Lakers are suddenly worried that Paul George is going to stay in Oklahoma City. I think the Lakers last week, talking to Laker people, they thought no chance they got Kawhi. They're staying away from that. Pop's not going to make that trade. Suddenly now, it seems like Paul George may be leaning towards staying in OKC. And if he doesn't come here, if they have to get Kawhi or they're not getting LeBron. LeBron's not coming alone. He's going to come with somebody. He's already called around the league trying to get somebody to come with them. So now, if they don't have PG, they got to get Kawhi. Therefore, now the pressure on them to figure out how to talk San Antonio into making this trade. And again, I'll say the Spurs are fools if they don't make this kind of trade. The Lakers are going to give them everything. They're going to give them the best young players. They're going to give them draft picks. They're going to figure out. They'll give them the whole store for Kawhi. I don't know how at the end of the day the Spurs can turn that down.
Okay. Well, we've heard the reporting is the Spurs will turn it down no matter what, but Plaschke's holding out hope, at least from an L.A. perspective. Kalish, how about you?
Yeah, and what you said about the Spurs, that is what we've heard, and that's the first thing I thought is the Lakers can't pull this off. Nobody can really pull it off. There's not enough time. Free agency's about to start. But then if you think about it from San Antonio's point of view, aren't they going to get more for Kawhi Leonard now than they're ever probably going to get? If they hang on to him past free agency, when is his value, if he's not playing for them, if he's playing for them, how is that going to ever get to the point where it should be now? Whether the Lakers, whether it's Philadelphia, they've all got assets and players to offer. I would think it could get done.
Right, Isola?
I mean, if I'm the Spurs, I'm sitting back. So there's a story out there that there's pressure on the Lakers to get Kawhi Leonard, one of my top rivals. Why am I in a rush to trade him? He's under contract for 1 more year. And, Bill, you bring up, trading for the Laker players. I'll talk to Boston first, and maybe Kawhi Leonard, once he gets to Boston, will say, you know what, it's not so bad here. They have a lot of banners up there. They love their sports stars. To me, Boston has a much better package than that they could give than the Lakers could.
You're shaking your head no, Bill.
Why would Boston do this if it's only going to be a rental? He's no guarantee to go there. The Lakers can do this because you know he's going to stay there.
Rental's not terrible, guys. I mean, the chance to win a championship this right now is not a bad option.
I want to hear
Lakers
Bob
aren't
got to say
there
about this.
per se. All right, Bob, Boston's been involved. Please, floor is yours.
I'm echoing Frank. I think Boston could make a better deal than the Lakers could make for him. Now, but whoever does get him has to look him in the eye and be able to get a straight answer. What is this all about? Because we still haven't heard from him. We want to know what this is truly and really all about. Spell it out. Is it because you think you were misdiagnosed medically? Is it because of A, B, C, D, E? We want to know. And you got to make sure. Of course, Boston, Bill, wouldn't take him unless they knew that they were going to be able to keep him and sign him. There's no question. That's why whoever gets him.
That's why Boston.
Whoever gets him, that's a given, isn't it? Isn't that a given? Isn't that a given?
Bill, you invoked the name of Paul George. Paul George, that was supposed to be a rental. He may stay in Oklahoma City. And what if I'm Boston? What if I did this? How about Gordon Hayward for Kawhi Leonard? Even if Kawhi left, all right, so I'm off Gordon Hayward's money. Kawhi leaves. I still have an abundance of assets. It wouldn't be the worst thing.
You would make that trade if you were Boston. You would trade him for you make that trade, knowing he's not going to stay there more than a year.
I don't know if he's not going to stay there. You're saying that.
Might stay there.
Bob, would you make that trade? Would you trade a guy? Gordon Hayward, I mean, he's a Celtic, but he never played on the Celtics.
I would make that trade. Kawhi Leonard's one of the handful of greatest players in the league. Gordon Hayward is among the better players in the league. There's a big difference in gradation here, and I wouldn't do it, Bill. There's no question. You have to have an assurance you're going to sign him. You don't make the deal without that assurance.
He won't give that insurance.
Nobody can make that trade without that assurance.
Bill, let me ask you this. What's the Lakers' pitch? Other than Magic Johnson walking in a room and being Magic Johnson, which of course is impressive, but his track record here in building a team isn't exactly that. What is the Lakers' pitch?
If you can win in L.A., you'll be the biggest star on the planet. You'll make the most money on the planet. There's so many more opportunities for you out here than anywhere else. So many more business opportunities, so many commercial opportunities for you. This is the entertainment capital of the world. You will be the capital entertainer of the world if you can win in L.A. There's no place like it. There's no place like it, and they're on the verge of building a winner here again, and you will lead them back to the promised land where they haven't been for the last 6 years. You will be like a Kobe Bryant. Look what Kobe's done with movies and television. You'll be like Kobe Bryant.
Okay, does that sway anybody? Kalishaw, you signing with the Lakers?
Kawhi Leonard doesn't strike me as a guy who's really looking for all that. He barely even speaks, in good times. So I don't know that he's looking to be the next Hollywood mogul.
Everybody's looking for an Oscar. I don't know. Magic says he'll step down if the Lakers whip the next 2 years. Bill, you were the one asking those questions yesterday. Yeah. How should we hear Magic's answers to that?
I think he's feeling a lot of pressure here. He says that there has 2 summers and he'll step down after 2 summers. He's got to get it done this summer. And he's showing that he's feeling the pressure of this. This is part of his legacy out here, believe it or not. A lot of people have never seen him play. And while he's the greatest Laker of all time and the greatest, LA citizen of all time, perhaps, he's also not proven himself as an executive, as a basketball executive, and he just badly wants to do that. And this would hurt that legacy. He's feeling that pressure right now, and he's saying, I'll get it done, I'll get it done. Just trust me, I'm Magic Johnson. And everybody in LA just hopes that's enough.
Tim Kalisha?
I think he's speaking to the casual NBA fan and the casual Laker fan around the country who all assume LeBron is just, signed, sealed, and delivered for the Lakers. He's got a house there and all, and he's telling them that is not the case. We don't know if we're getting him, and we may not get him. We may not get him. We'll have to get somebody next year. This may take longer than you think.
Well, I still think that the Lakers and that brand is still a preferred destination, and I don't have a problem with what Magic said. So, Nick, if they don't get guys this summer, 2019 winning in Cleveland, Tom Brady winning in Boston, they didn't become big stars. They had to win in LA
close.
to become a big
Not even close to Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant winning in L.A. Not even close to Magic
You're
Johnson.
nuts.
Not even
You're
close.
Nuts. You're nuts. You're crazy. No,
You're crazy.
My big
You're
takeaway
crazy.
from this is that by setting himself up as a deadline, that if he doesn't do it by next year, that he would willingly walk away and quit. I kind of disagree with Bill, although Bill's in the eye of the storm, and I'm not. But I've been observing and knowing Magic a long time myself, and I do think that he's saying to the world, I can survive this. My legacy is fixed. I am Magic Johnson. And Bill, did they have schools out there? Did history begin in 2017?
It's one of the interesting
Nobody
things
knows
you said,
who we
Bill.
are. Stop it with that.
There's now a healthy portion of the fan base.
A healthy portion of
who
that
grew up
they
not
know he's a great player, but they never saw him play, Bob.
It's been 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
They should have never won in Dallas.
My God,
What
it's
was Troy
better
Aikman
than
doing
you
winning in
We're
Dallas?
getting old, fellas.
Derek
We're getting
Jeter,
old. That's
Kobe
what that
Bryant.
is.
Derek Jeter, Kobe Bryant, there's no question. There's not even
There
close.
isn't.
It's not even close.
Tom Brady.
Taking a break. Buy or sell next.
Around the Horn is brought to you by Domino's. Oh, yes, we did. November 17th is National...
Buy or sell.
Austin Rivers for Marcin Gortat. What does it mean for the Clippers and DeAndre Jordan, Bill Plaschke? What does it mean for the Mavs getting back in the DeAndre Jordan business, Tim Kalisha? And what does it mean for Thanksgiving in the Rivers household? Plaschke, start us off.
I think it means great things for the Clippers. They're finally deconstructing and breaking down Lob City. That by the time they trade DeAndre, by the next trading deadline, it'll be done. All the 6 years of bad memories of not getting to this conference finals, that'll be over with. They're starting under Lawrence Frank and Jerry West. Good move for them. Good move also for Austin Rivers because it just never really worked there. Even his dad, Doc, would agree that it didn't work there, that he needed to be gone. But it was a sweet
You think
story.
it's going to work elsewhere for Austin Rivers?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because it was hard for him. He's a pretty good little player. It was hard for him to play for his dad.
How about you?
I think it's a good move for the Clippers, but you brought it up. The Mavericks, yes, they are interested in making another run at DeAndre Jordan. They tried 3 years ago. They thought they had him. All they ended up doing was losing Tyson Chandler. But this time, the man's learned how to shoot free throws. He shot 58% last year.
So you believe there's
there
still
could be a
value
lot
for
of
DeAndre Jordan,
fallout.
okay?
Yeah.
I still have a you.
A wise guy would say Doc Rivers is going to have a tough time winning Father of the Year in 2019, but I do think it's the best thing that could happen for Austin Rivers to go to Washington. He spent that time with his father. I think that was good for him. Now you get away from that. You can go on with your career, and I think DeAndre Jordan is definitely on the move, and Dallas looks like the place it's going to be.
Bob Ryan.
Oh, well, I think that as far as the Clippers in general are concerned, the window has closed. They never got over losing that 3-1 lead ever, and they had a chance to really make hay in that city, and they blew it. And so they got to blow it up and start all over. And as far as Austin Rivers is concerned, he's coming off a 15 points a game year, a career year. He's really found his stride. But how much minutes is he going to get in Washington? Except, of course, that there's always the injury list in that town.
Yeah, Wall or Beal getting injured. You know, Bill, something you said struck me. 6 years of bad memories. You got to blow it up with the Clippers. Those are also their 6 years of best memories they've ever had. And
I know, but at the end of the day, looking back, it was what opportunity lost.
Yeah,
it was a chance missed.
Especially
That's how
with
we're
the
looking
Lakers
at
being
it.
as
That's how we're looking at it.
They didn't become big stars in L.A. They would have thought.
Oh, Frank, it's a different team. I'm not selling the Clippers. Whoa, I'm not selling the Clippers. I'm selling the Lakers. It's a completely
Here's the
different
question I want to
operation.
ask you guys. Whether the NBA should move up when free agency starts. There's some traction to it. Maybe flip it with the draft. That's what the Rockets proposed to the league a few months ago. What do you think of that idea, Tim?
I like the concept of it. I don't think it really works with the calendar. I don't think you can push the draft back into the middle of July, so I don't know how you can make this happen. It would make the draft a lot more interesting because by then teams would know, hey, we didn't get this in free agency. We got to make this move. Right now, the draft, people are a little too cautious because they have all these high hopes for for free agency.
You know, it's the draft, and then you have Summer League. I don't think there's anything wrong with the system. Every once in a while, it affects some teams. It could have affected the Cleveland Cavaliers. Just keep it the way it is.
Bob Ryan?
Well, you fooled around with the draft before. Once upon a time, it was the day after the end of the regular season. So now it's evolved into where it is. But I think it's an idea of time that's probably come, and I'll be very surprised if it doesn't get adopted.
When was the draft? The day after the regular season ended, Bob Ryan?
My first draft I covered in 1970. The season ended on Sunday, and the draft was on Monday.
Bob.
Okay, thank you for that.
Oh,
No
Bob.
panicky?
Bob.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
tell
I'm
you.
sorry. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a good move. Teams right now are drafting, but for needs they don't know they have. They're drafting blind because they don't know what their team is going to look like, and so they're kind of taking a chance. Do it after free agency. That works a lot better.
Buy or sell 3, the 183rd ranked player in the world, given the number 25 seed. That's a story we're going to talk about here at Wimbledon. It's odd, but when you consider it Serena, it's very understandable. Actually, why don't they just give her the number 1 seed? I'd argue for that. It, of course, bumped people down. The would-be number 32 seed, Sibylkova, said she doesn't think it's fair that she's unseeded now. Is it fair, Frank?
Oh, come on, it's fair. It's Serena Williams. This is her tournament. You know, she didn't play leading up to the French Open, so she wasn't seeded there. The fact that she played in the French, absolutely, she should be seeded at Wimbledon. No problem with
Have
that.
2 tournaments before the French. How about you, Bob Ryan?
This is like telling a team that they're going to be seeded 16th instead of 17th instead of 16th in the NCAA tournament or something, or 16th instead of 15th, whatever. Fact of the matter is, it's Serena Williams, the greatest woman who's ever picked up a racket. Dominika Sibylkova, and so what? It's not fair. So what?
Yeah, it's totally fair. In fact, you should be ranked even higher. All over the world, women go on maternity leave. They come back. Their jobs are safe. Her seeding should be safe. She's the same great player she was when she went away on maternity leave. Yes, this is great for empowerment of women everywhere.
4th round.
Tim Calishaw.
Yeah, if you're not going to try to help out Serena Williams after maternity leave, are you ever going to help out any female athlete after maternity leave? 25 is, very low for her, but I think it's deserved, and I think Sibylkova will be just fine.
The fact that she's not seeded better. I mean, it's not fair to whoever she's playing in the first, second, and third round. If she was seeded the 1 seed and wasn't up to her usual 1 seed capability, then that's a lucky break for somebody. The opposite, though, is not fair to somebody if she were to be
And at the French, the players wanted her seated.
Exactly.
They didn't like the fact that she wasn't seated.
Flash. I solo. No longer seated on this show. Kalishaw, Ryan, showdown, yes. It's Kalishaw, it's Ryan, it's showdown. Good luck, gentlemen. Klay Thompson schooled at Papa Shot by this young lady as he's taking a tour of China. You think more of the young lady or less of Klay, Tim?
I think a little less of Klay. He's really not very aggressive here. It's like he's waiting for somebody to set him a screen before he's getting those shots off. You got to be quick. You got to keep those things moving like she is.
He's out of his element. You know, he can shoot 25-footers with full extension, but there's a little art to this thing. This young lady obviously is a practitioner of that art. She's better at it than he is, period. It's a nice little flip. He's not used to flipping the ball. He's used to stroking the ball, and that's the difference here.
Thanks for breaking it down. There's also the art of the steal. You take as many balls from the one next door and yours, and then you have a better chance of scoring. That's what Bob Ryan just did right there. Showdown 2. How impressed should we be with Buffalo Bulls receivers reverse sit-up, Bob Ryan? You want to make a ruling here?
Oh, it makes me pained. It's just painful to me to watch it. But you know what? This is great, wonderful. I give him full credit. But the fact is, he's supposed to be a wide receiver, and can he play? That's all I want to know. I don't give a damn about this.
I'm just trying to think of what would be ripping and shredding first. My hamstring, what purports to be abs down here. It's just painful for any of us. It's got to be painful for players to watch that. You can see the guy in the background trying to do it and falling over thinking, I have no idea how he's pulling that off. Remarkable.
You say your purported abs. I mean, I'm going to go on the record right here and say nobody has a plus-minus in television like this show has, minus-wise. Because Kalishaw, you're down, what, 30-plus pounds? Bob Ryan, you're down 30-plus pounds. Woody Page is down 50 pounds. 50 pounds. Points for everybody. We'll move on. Check this out. Mookie Betts, his 20th home run last night. Michael Hermosillo made a play for it and in the process went over the wall and recreated the Torrey Hunter bullpen cop. Look at that, Bob. Was it as good the second time around?
Not quite. The spacing isn't the same to make the perfect W and all that, but still, the idea, his name is Steve Horgan. He's still on the job. He's still enthusiastic. He's
the
still
same guy?
It's Steve Horgan. He's the same guy. And he's about to quit, by the way, but not before he got in one last beautiful hoorah.
It's remarkable that the Red Sox know just how far they got to get that ball over the fence, that these guys can't make that catch. Torrey Hunter missed it by a foot, and so did Hermosillo last night. But the cop, he's in the right place every time.
Bob, did you say he's about to retire? Why would you retire from that job? That's a job you keep in life.
It is
The bullpen, keeping the bullpen. Now that Kareem Garcia's out of baseball, keeping that bullpen in order is pretty easy, I would imagine. FaceTime goes to Boston.
I want to wish a very happy birthday to our colleague and America's funny uncle, Woody Page.
Yeah.
I go back a long way with Woody Page when he was in Memphis and I was in Boston. But what you don't know, you people know him now in this guise. He's the star of this show. 2,531 times Woody has come into your living room or your bar, wherever you are. But Woody Page is one of the great columnists in America. He's a writer, folks. This is his sideline making you laugh. He's a damn good writer. And I'll tell you something else. He's a wonderful person. I always said if I had a next-door neighbor, I would be Woody Page.
All right.
I promise you, if you're in trouble, he would be the first person to help you. This is a good man, America.
We're honoring
Happy
him
birthday,
here.
Woody.
It's okay. All right. Hey, I want to say this, Plashke, you're down 30 pounds as well. Isola, you're down 20 pounds. The plus-minus in the show is incredible.
Where are we going? I want Bill to move next door to me.
See you tomorrow.